All right. Welcome to Python Career Trainers. I am Hussain Sajid and we were learning about Tkinter using Python. And today we are going to design a calculator app using Tkinter and Python. So let's get started. Okay. So first of all, what we need to do, we have to import Tkinter library. So we'll write from Tkinter import static. Okay. And then we will create an app whose name is root TK and then parentheses. So first of all, we would like to give a title to our application like calculator. So I would say it's a calculator. Okay. And then obviously in a calculator, you can see here at the screen, uh, we, uh, we want to create this kind of calculator app. Okay. So for this purpose, what we need to do, we have to create buttons. Okay. And in calculator, you know that at the start there is a 7 8 9 and then 4 5 6 1 2 3 in a normal calculator. So first of all, we need to create a button. I want button 7 8 9 at the top row. So I would say btn 7 is equal to button, the capital button like BUTTON button into then roots, and then I have to place a text here which is 7. Okay, in the same way I would do copy this and for 8 and 9 7 8 9. Okay, and here I will create the text, change the text 8 and 9. Obviously now I have to pack these buttons if I want them to show up at the screen. So for that purpose I will write here btn 7 is equal dot grid. Okay, I would, instead of using pack, I'm going to use grid function, and here we have to specify the row equals 0 and column is also equal to 0. Okay, you can copy that, and 7 8 and 9, and now you can change the column numbers like this is 1, this is 2, and in the end you know that you have to write the main loop. So let's run this. You can see here are 3 buttons over here. Okay, but these are not looking like that application that we were creating right here. So we want the buttons to look bigger and in a proper format. For that we were using pad x and pad y, if you remember the last lessons. So we'll go above here in the buttons. So I will write here pad x equals 40 and pad y is equal to 20. Say pad x is equal to 40 and pad y is equal to 20. So just copy all this and paste over here. Again run this. Now you can see it's in a pretty good view. But you know that we have to create an input box at the top where whenever you press a button, a text is typed over there. So we have to create a text entry at the top. So for that, we would write here E, say instead of giving it a name something else, E is equal to an entry and then root, and we have to give it a width, say 40 pixels, and 40 width and border width also is equal to say 5. Okay, and obviously you have to show this at the screen. So since we are using grid method, so I would like here grid, and I want to show that at the top, so I have to give it a 0 row. So row equals 0, column equals 0, and also I want to say call span equal 3 because I want to sorry, it's a column span. I want to show this at the width of the 3 buttons. not just at the first one, and then obviously a pad x, say it's 15, pad y is 15. Okay, so let's run this, and now you can see there is an error, pad x, pad y. Let's see what happened over there. So I forgot to type here pad y. Now you can see, yeah, there is another error like this entry is also at row 0 in column 0, but these buttons are also at row 0 and column 0. So these buttons should be at row 1 instead of row 0. Okay, so again run this, and you can see here are three buttons and you can write above them. Okay, so now we have to create the other buttons as well. So let's go like copy these buttons. This was the first row and this must be the second row, like 5 6 7. Sorry, 4 5 6, 4 5 and 6. And here also we have to change the text, 4 5 and 6. And also its row would be like 2 2 and 2. And sorry, we have to copy this as well. And here we are going to change first the name of the buttons, like this was 4 5 and 6. And obviously you have to change the row number, 2 2 and 2. Again we are going to copy this for button 1 2 3. So here that should be 1 2 and 3. And obviously the text should be like 1 2 and then obviously 3. So obviously you have to pack them, so just copy this again and paste it here, and that would become btn 1, btn 2 and button 3. Okay, and obviously row should also be changed to row number 3. And now let's run this and see what happened. So now you can see here we are a properly good calculator designs, and obviously we have to create some other buttons like 0 and the plus, minus, multiply, divide, and clear and equal buttons as well. So we will again write some other buttons like btn 0. So we would go here and copy this. Okay, and this should be btn 0, and there is say btn plus, and this text is 0 and it's plus. Okay, and now here I want to expand this 0 like in two buttons. Its space should be like two buttons, like you can see here 0 is bigger in size, so I want to create it a bigger in size. So I would go here and I will change the padding. So I'm going to change this to 87.5, and for this plus sign I am going to change this to 39. Okay, so you can put you change the paradox pad y as you demand. It's totally up to you. So that was our row 4, and in row 5 there are three other buttons like it was minus, multiply, and divide. So I would write subtract. So text should be like this, and just copy it and paste. This should be multiply, and this should be divide. Okay, and its text would be like multiply and divide. Okay, I hope that's clear. So now we have to create pack these two rows. So the first two buttons would be like I want to expand this, so I will write here column span equal to, so that zero would be expanded to two columns. So this thing should be copied, and the first one should be for btn 0, and it's row 0, sorry, row 4, column 0, and then there is a plus to btn plus, and its row is 0, sorry, 4, but column is not 1, it's 2. Why? Because the zeroth button is taking two columns, like we have written above, column span equals 2. Okay, and then there's no need for that, and then we have other buttons like subtract, and then there is multiply, and then there is divide, so div. So this must be in row 5. So for now it's looking good. Let's run it. And now there is an error. Let's see what is that. It is saying that column span minus column span. So there is some error there. Let me check it. It's looking fine. If it's 201, it should be okay. Let me see what's happened. Alex is right, text is 0, root button btn 0, everything is good. Then what is the issue there? Unknown option column span is over there. So for now, let's remove this column span, and we will see this in next video. So we'll remove that error. So now let's try to see it. It's looking good, but there is an issue of this pad X, and so that's why the layout is really awkward. Okay, so let's restore this to 40 pixel, the pad X for 0 button, and this is also for 40 pixels, and let's create another button over there, like subtract should be with this. Okay, instead of two buttons there. So now the subtract is with row, but is along with row 0, so that's row 4, and we are going to create another button whose name is equal. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and this should be equal, and its symbol should be like this. Okay, and we have to show this in the grid, so we'll copy this, and it's like this, equal grade 5, and this must be the, okay, and let's run this. I hope that should work. Okay, and it is looking fine, but there is a little bit issue at the bottom line. You can see there is a little bit space between, just because of the pad X and pad Y issue. So we should change this to 39, like the equals pad X, equal signs pad X. Okay, it's taking a little bit more space like there. it's a little bit better, but we can improve this by changing the pad X and pad Y. Okay, so that was the layout of the button, but for now you can, if you click somewhere, nothing's happening. Okay, like whenever we should click here, there should show some entry in this input box, like whatever we can type over there, but we cannot put the text using text buttons. So let's write a function for this. For this, suppose we are going to write a function at the top. Here, I'm going to define btn underscore click. Whenever I click a button, this should happen. What should happen? Like a number, it should be displayed here. So say I would type here e dot insert. So whenever I'm typing, so I'm typing, I want that whatever is already there should be removed when I click a new button. For this, I would say e dot delete 0 till end. Okay, and then what I want to insert a number. Okay, so I would say e dot insert from 0th index till the number. Okay, and this function only call when we have added this using command to the buttons. So btn underscore click. But you can see here we have given a parameter. So we have already discussed in last video that we can directly pass the parameters, and using parameter we have to put a parenthesis over here, but we cannot type like whenever I click button 7 there should be shown a 7 in the text box above. So if I want to pass a parameter, so I have to use it using lambda. Lambda is the built-in function in this Tkinter. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it at the end of all the buttons like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, but when I click 0, 0 should be passed as a parameter. When I click 3, there should be 3, 2, and 1. Same like here, this is between 6, 5, and 4. This is 9 and 8. So let's run it. I hope that should work. Now I can write any number, but I can type only a single number over there. I cannot type if I want to 66, I want 12. I cannot type more than one number. So what I have to do, I will take the previous input, whatever is already there, and I will save it to a variable. And then I will take the new input from the user and I will concatenate them. Okay. So let's move back, and here I would get first of all the current value, whatever was there. Okay. So e dot get, this function give us whatever is there in input box. Okay, so I would save into a current, and I want to make sure that should be concatenated with the new entry. So I will just type current plus num. So what is going to be happen over there? So let's run this module 7, and there is an error. Okay, is saying that not int to a string. Okay, whatever we take as an input using get is a string. Okay, and this num is just like this parameter, and this is a integer. We cannot concatenate the integer with string, so we have to convert this number to string. Just for make sure that this current should also be string, we should place a string here. This is called typecasting and Python. Okay, where you can transform a string to integer or integer to string. So now if I write 1203, and you can see the numbers are here. Okay, So that was for today. And in the next video, we'll write the functions for this plus, minus, equal, less than, sorry, multiplication and division. So that was nice meeting with you. I will see you in the next meeting. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.